What's up, guys? Welcome back. Episode 4 in this series. We are talking about self-care and what self-care means to us. Do you want to start, Leela?
I mean, I feel like there's so much emphasis now on self-care and so many people talk about it and it's like, that's a thing. And I feel like in the past, you almost felt guilty if you were focused on your self-care, and now it's become like this like fad. Like, oh, I'm going on a self-care retreat, or oh, I'm taking a day for self-care. And that's okay, and I think we've always needed it. We just, in the past, I feel like it wasn't built into our society, and now, like, self-care is a thing. It is a huge industry, you know? And I don't think that people realize how much self-care does help, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And it can be anything. It can be just something in your day that makes you feel better. Maybe it's a cappuccino you drink at 4 o'clock and that's your version of self-care. Or,
you know, I was watching something, I don't know what platform it was on, but, you know, they were talking crap about like, oh, all these people, if they stop spending $6 on their coffee every day, then they could afford a house. That's a lie. House prices these days. Okay. But also, if that $6 cup of coffee is what makes you put a smile on your face and relax to start your day, and it's not causing you to like not be able to feed your kids dinner at night, get that $6 cup of coffee. I am such a fan of, if it's going to help me, and that little coffee on the way to work might be the reason that I'm like, okay, I can do this. It's just a coffee, and I know it's psychological. I know it's not changing anything in my body, but if that's what you need and that's part of your self-care, then give yourself that. And save those $6 doing something else, you know?
Absolutely.
I feel like it's so important that we find those little tiny things that make us happy all throughout our day, and it keeps you going.
And you don't have to justify it. I know a lot of women will say, oh, I'm going to get a pedicure. It's my one splurge. And I'm like, lady, that is not a splurge. It is not a splurge to take care of yourself so that you can take care of other people. Help me help you by let me get that $6 coffee or my pedicure or whatever it is I need for my self-care. A funny story about self-care, and this is just a broader topic, but I know somebody that they got really into self-care, and they kept saying, you know, I'm going home to do my self-care, or I just need to do my self-care and then I'll be ready to go. And my husband finally said, what the hell is she talking about with her self-care? Is she saying she's going home to masturbate? And I'm like, well, no, but that is absolutely a form of self-care. So if that's in your routine, I know especially around that time of the month, I tell my husband all the time, look, you were at work, it was strictly medicinal purposes. A personal massager is an excellent tool in the self-care belt. And don't be ashamed. I think it is more fun when you talk about it with your partner. Like, hey, I guess what I did today.
Right. I mean, I don't know, but you don't. Yeah. If that's part of your day and that's what you need, I mean, there's been so much data proving that it changes the chemical composition of your body after you self-care in that way. It will just change your outlook for the rest of the day. If you just had a little tiff with someone at work, you know, you come home and you self-cared away, guys. Self-cared away.
Or maybe you are trying to prevent yourself from making a big purchase. Maybe you've had a few things in your cart and you just can't decide if you want to pull that trigger or not.
Right.
Clarity comes from that type of self-care as well. So you have a big decision to make. Maybe that's just the clarity that you need.
It's self-care.
It's self-care.
It's self-care.
So, you know, massages, you know, in other places on your body. Maybe your partner does hair play with you. Or like every night before we fall asleep, I scratch Gabe's back. So that's like a little self-care for him that I can be a part of. I feel like anything that makes you feel good can be self-care.
And I mean, whether it's going and sitting outside away from your family for 5 to 10 minutes, just taking it in. Or if you like to read at night and that's part of your self-care, it can look like so many different things. I feel like people just assume it's like going to the spa and getting a massage and all this stuff, which those are things. But self-care can literally be, I'm going to step outside in my yard and I'm going to walk around by myself in silence for 5 minutes. And that's okay. You know, it doesn't have to be a regimented event. No. It can literally be little tiny moments that just reset you in that moment. And that is self-care. And also, I mean, the makeup and the lotions and everything. And if that makes you, my definition of self-care is anything that makes me feel better and can make me feel better in bad moments. So if it's something, if I just need a reset, then I take a little self-care moment. If I just want to have a day to myself and do all the things I love and not be bothered by anybody, and if that's my self-care for the day, that's okay.
Sometimes it looks like looking into your phone and mindlessly scrolling for 15 minutes.
Right.
I mean, sometimes that is what self-care looks like. I know a girl when she's in a group of a lot of people,
Mhm.
it's what she goes to and where she can kind of focus her energy that she's not overwhelmed by everything else going on around her.
Right.
That's a form of self-care for her. So I just think there's lots of ways to get it. Don't be ashamed that you need it or that you want it. And yeah, take care of yourself.
Take care, self-care, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, my part of my self-care, I swear to God, is perfume. I love smelling nice. I put perfume on before I go to sleep. Like after I get out of the shower, I will put perfume. Like it's just a thing.
I like
I
that.
love waking up and having my bed sheets smell like my perfume. I just have this thing with smells and I love perfume. And that is part of my self-care. And there are certain perfumes, I only have one or two, that I will pay really, really good money for because every time I smell it on myself,
You're
I'm like,
happy.
and that's part of my self-care. So instead of going to the spa and spending $100 on a spa, whatever, I'm spending $100 on this bottle of perfume. That is part of my self-care. And that's it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nothing's too big, nothing's too small. Take care of yourself, take care of your health, take care of yourself mentally, emotionally. We get one body and we get one chance at this thing. So, make it right. Make it enjoyable.
We hope you enjoyed our beauty series, self-care, makeup, hair, creams, lotions, potions.
Mm.
If you missed any of them, make sure you check out the prior episodes, and we will see you next time.
Bye.